Welcome to Snetterton. It's round 3 of the Thundersport GB Championships for 2016. We have so many 600s that we have a pre-national 600 Sport and Freshman Cup here for those that didn't make the overall grid. Number 24 there on pole is Lee McLaughlin. We've got out there on the front row as well, number 57, Stephen Dickinson. Brian Fuge a bit further back there. A couple of gaps on the grid for riders that have taken a few tumbles over the weekend. Second on the grid there, number 45, Chris Curtis. His blue and red MSG Suzuki. My word, what an awful start, I'm afraid, from number 57 there, Stephen Dickinson. And he's lucky not to get tangled up in one or two accidents. 24 it is that gets the lead into turn 1, Ian McLaughlin on his Lee MC Racing Suzuki. But pretty sure that Stephen Dickinson would quite like to have another go at that one. In third place, heading around there, is number 7, Zolt Bardi. And oh dear, what's going on there? A bit further back, a bit of an issue there for number 61, Russell Powell, who's just gingerly making his way around Chapman Curve. And out front, it is Lee McLaughlin that has the advantage from number 45, Chris Curtis. Trying to see where Zolt Bardi hails from, because of course the name like Zolt, beginning ZS, sounds rather Hungarian to me, but I could be completely wrong. In the programme, where does he hail from? Burnt Oak. So I'm not really going to get any further with that one. Then at the front of this one, it is number 24, Lee McLaughlin, that has the advantage. So there's a chance here for riders to get their full quota of racing in for the weekend if they weren't able to qualify for the main race. There's sort of A, B and C races, a 2 from 3 format for some of these guys, so they have already had one race with the main field, and this is their crack at it, a chance for them to pick up some trophies, but they won't be scoring pre-national sport 600 points, that's for sure. A lot of MSG Suzukis out there at Thundersport, the blue and red Suzukis. I'm not sure exactly how many they've got, but it must be a good 6 or 7 of them floating around the paddock with riders various on them. And look there, like Chris Curtis might just have the advantage, but he's just lost out again to the man that was on pole, Lee McLaughlin, number 24, with the orange bib on from Leeds. Number 45, Chris Curtis, is from Stolton. And then in third, as we mentioned before, Zolt Bardi. Stephen Dickinson, who was on the front row, made that poor start, is trying to regroup a bit further back, but he's not going to become a part of this group for the actual win, that's for sure. It's number 60 in fourth, Frankie Stennett from the Isle of Man. That is a long drive home from Snetterton to get himself over to the ferry later tonight. Further back there, number 10 is Jonathan Atkinson, 77. Is Gary Hignett of our Royal Air Force Motorsport Association riders. And then back again with Zolt Bardi. As I said before, so many 600s out there that all these guys get to have another go. It's likely to be the same over at Cadwell Park as well, such as the huge entry list, so qualifying will be really important for these guys if they want to become a part of the major race on a more regular basis. But he does bring these riders on, these cup races, because of course they're not fighting in amongst packs, they've got a bit of clear track, they get to practice their racecraft, they get a chance of picking up a trophy. It's good grounding for a number of them. 96 there is Kemal Oram. I presume I'm pronouncing that right. In fifth place, we have to wait quite a long time for number 43, Jane Nixon. But you open up the race programme and you to page 11 here at Snetterton and you look at the long list of entries in this 600 class, they're having to make the font quite small because there are so many. Looks like on the back of the levers there of number 45, Chris Curtis, it says cheers. I don't know if that's just like a nickname or if there's a private joke that we don't know about, but unless it says Curtis and I need to get myself to spec saves, of course. We'll have a look in a moment. You see once more 96 Kamal Ora, who in the programme is racing an A&RR MRRT Suzuki, which must be Royal Navy based, I can only presume. There is number 60. It does say cheers on the back of the levers there of Chris Curtis, so perhaps you'll have to let us know what that's all about. It says actually on the back of his levers, Crusty Chris, cheers. Do we want to know what that's about or not? That's the question. Oh, running wide there, really wide for Lee McLaughlin, and that will give Curtis an opportunity. Zolt Bardi there, still in third place. Further back, 386. That is Jamie Ross, up ahead of Brian Fuge, and of course A&RR is the Royal Navy, because Fuge is, oh blimey, that is a bit wide there. At number 10 from Jonathan Atkinson from York, another one of our Royal Navy. I don't know if the Royal Navy guys are trying to find water here or not, but they're certainly struggling to keep it on the tarmac as it stands. But that's slightly wide. He is a rookie. We'll let him off, give him the benefit of the doubt, just out breaking himself. There's Frankie Stennett, who on that last lap was the quickest actually of the leading four. Number 60 at the back of this group, so it is still Lee McLaughlin that has the advantage, but Stennett at the back of the pack with the fastest lap of the race so far. Into the bomb hole we go. 19s they're doing at the moment, 1 minute 19s. I'm just trying to see if I can find what lap times the original pre-national 600s were going earlier today, to find out how far away they are from the pace. Now, of course, the first race for the pre-national sports was wet, so that won't really be much to talk about. Race 7 was won, and it was, well, they were doing 116s, so these guys at the moment lapping in the 119s. Too far away. Stennett, in fact, in race 7 earlier on, which was the pre-national 600 sport, finished 20th overall and was lapping in the 120s. So he's already made improvement just by being at the sharp end of this group. And in fact, now Stennett is into the 18s, so perhaps he would have been on for some points if he'd have kept that up. So it just goes to show you how much it will work. There is 386 Jamie Ross, just behind the Fuge, the Luge. Now then, at the front, a bit of a gap forming between Lee McLaughlin and Chris Curtis. Zolt Bardi is there in third, Frankie Stennett in fourth. There is number 15. That is Joseph Addy. So the second, third and fourth all on your screen. Stennett continues just to inch a bit closer, but out front, Lee McLaughlin. Lee McLaughlin's going across the line. He's done a 1:19.4. Stennett, if he'd got a better start, he would have been battling for the outright win here. As it is, there's not that long to go in this race, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to challenge Lee McLaughlin, but he could certainly get his name on a second place trophy. He's close enough. Further back, this is the scrap going on for 7th place between Brian Fuge and Joseph Addy. Up ahead of these guys is Jane Nixon and Stephen Dickinson. Back to the sharp end. Nope, we stay with Fuge. And number 15, Addy, rookie. Addy from Gilberdike. Never heard of that before. No idea where that is. So I'm not going to be able to give you much in terms of my geographical information, I'm afraid. Brian Fuge, well, he comes and hails from Poole and is part of the Royal Navy. Raced with us now for a few years. Back to the front. Still Lee McLaughlin that leads. He goes across the line. He's building up now, what, second and a half, 2 second lead with a couple of laps, with 1 lap to go. 45 still in second. It's Chris Curtis. Frankie Stennett's just gone across the line at 1:18.3. That is the fastest lap of the race by 1.1 seconds. And he is right on the case now of a podium. There is 43, Jane Nixon. She's in 6th place. Onto the back straight we go. There is Stennett. Remarkable. How on earth have you just found that much time on the penultimate lap of the race? So, see if he can find his way onto the podium as well. No one's going to catch Lee McLaughlin, I'm afraid. Here he is, having a good look over his shoulder. Good job done. Him under threat early on. But the rookie will be taking a winner's trophy home with him. 2 leads. Will it be Curtis, second on the podium? Will Bardi fancy a little go at this at the end? The rider from Burnt Oak. Well, either way, whatever happens, this is your race winner. Number 24 in the Pre-National 600 Sport and Freshman Cup takes the win. And in second place, well, that's Stennett. Stennett comes through out of nowhere again and has taken second place. So something must have happened over at the last corner there. Frankie Stennett has robbed Chris Curtis and Zolt Bardi. Bardi ends up off the podium. Stennett finishes in second place. Chris Curtis is third. Zolt Bardi fourth. Stephen Dickinson takes fifth. And Jane Nixon in sixth. Top 3 overall then. There you see Lee McLaughlin, Frankie Stennett and Chris Curtis. That's it from us here at Snetterton. Those guys will have another play out on circuit at Cadwell for round 4 next time.